July or the May to August period, very, very low, the fewest since 1963 in that time period. So an odd year in many ways, and now it looks like we're going to have our worst impact hurricane way late in the hurricane season. Down at the very bottom there, the April 2011 period was marked by one of those positive red spikes in the North Atlantic Oscillation. Sort of has to do with the jet stream up across the New England. That big spike period of positive in 2012 was in that January to May, January period. So again, probably having something to do with, we're beginning to recognize some of these larger, more global or hemispheric controls or influences, at least on some of the severe weather. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. 2012 in the Northeast, we've certainly had some severe weather with tennis ball size hail in New York in July 4th, and several instances of large hail, and the first known tornado on Block Island, Rhode Island, in August 10th. But going back to 2011, what a tornado year that was for the U.S. as a whole, ranked 4th in terms of fatalities. I never thought I would see so many fatalities given the state of Doppler radars and our ability to get out the message on so many platforms. If you look at the top 6 deadliest years there, all of them but 2011 were back in what I call the Stone Ages of meteorology. There were no tornado forecasts. The National Weather Service, then the Weather Bureau, thought they would panic the public. The word tornado wasn't even allowed to be mentioned in any of the warnings. And of course, the Storm Prediction Center that we have now was not in existence until 1953. And so we're talking deaths in 2011 that were back what we used to have in those Stone Ages. There's been a tornado, Weather Ready Nation, a series of meetings organized by the National Weather Service and social scientists that have come about as a result of all that. And one of the things I learned from some of the social scientists is that, and this goes for some of the emergency warning people here in the Weather Service, that it just doesn't take giving the warning. The public doesn't immediately respond. There's sort of a whole hierarchy of steps that have to be gone through before people actually respond. They have to get the warning, so that's on us in terms of making the warning and disseminating it. They have to understand it. What does that mean? They have to believe it or not, whether the source is credible. Most of the time that's the case, although we do have a lot of false alarms, which lowers that a little bit. Have to actually, in many cases though, they want to personally visualize. This number 4 and 5 there, they will often look out the window. They'll go to a second television station to make sure that it's really an issue. They want to personalize. They want to make sure that it's for their location. So the specificity in the National Weather Service warnings now, it's not just by county, it's mentioning locations, and even in some places they want to know if it's going to hit near the Walmart or something. What street is sort of an expectation these days for much of Tornado Alley area. They decide if action is needed on that basis, and then finally, can they do it? Probably in